This is a new structure, a purpose-built £1.5 million control room. We've been here for approximately 2.5 years now after moving to this new room with partners. We currently monitor approximately 144 open space cameras on behalf of not only this council but Spelthorne Borough Council. We've recently been successful in bidding to increase our system to cover the boroughs of Epsom and Ewell and Elmbridge. We've got a number of feeds coming in, as you rightly say. We've got some analogue and some digital feeds, and our system is in fact a hybrid system. And we sought bidders some 2.5–3 years ago to provide the best GUI, the graphical user interface system for us that enables front use. So we want our guys at the coalface to have all the functionality that they would potentially need to carry out their daily function. Frankly, Meyertech was the best solution available.
I'm Martin Walker. I'm the control room manager for Hull City Council's Public Services Control Room. The primary role of that control room is to deliver CCTV. CCTV in Hull came with the first government grant funding money for the city centre in the year 2000 with around 40 cameras. Around 2004, with further government grant money, this extended cameras right the way across the city. So now we have in the region of 300 cameras that are actually in the public area on the streets. Crime and disorder is the main operational requirement for CCTV. It works with a number of other factions, enforcement agencies if you like, which is both internal to the council as well as external with things like the border agency, customs and revenue. Internal, it would be people like trading standards, the antisocial behaviour team, environmental crime unit. So there are many different enforcement agencies that we actually work with.
We've got Fusion 2 logs, Fusion 2 audit. Of course, we can track the movements of our operators through the system logs that enables us to provide vital information to partners in terms of when and where their cameras are used, and of course we can provide that information where required to the Information Commissioner's office. Well, it was increasingly important as we look to develop our system to design a room that was almost future-proof. Obviously technology moves on, and indeed we've had that ongoing support from Mr Denton at Meyertech and colleagues, but it was very important to establish the footprint as we move forward into this new room. And that was a conversation that was taken with my predecessor David Dodd, ex-police superintendent, with Meyertech, build a bespoke system, and of course that conversation enabled us to have a bespoke system designed with the future in mind.
We have, there's really only one customer, and that's the City of Hull. We don't do anybody else's monitoring. We do a number of other cameras that we do monitor, which are connected with things like schools, council depots and places like that. So there's around another 300 cameras we look into, but not in the sense of monitoring as you do for the public area cameras. We work very closely with the police, the communications link, as well as the video link that they can see live from Humberside Police's control room, and that goes directly to the dispatchers. So on average, we'll deal with between 600 and 800 live incidents a month, depending on the time of year. When it comes down to reviews, which is the business end, if you like, of what you're going to be providing your evidence, there's around 30 reviews a day from Monday to Sunday, and that's just police. For the time being, most of our cameras are analogue, and they come in over fibre, so most of the images we get are analogue. With the new Fusion 1, we can also see those images in digital, but analogue is the best that I've seen so far, that for an operator to sit there and quite happily monitor. So that's what we use, but as time goes on it will all become digital. At each stage of the development with the system, and it's been fairly ongoing now for 11 years, the support we've got from Meyertech has been very close, very useful. They know us of old and we know Meyertech. So anything that we've needed or tweaking or to try something new, we've talked to Meyertech and they've talked to us, and we've come to a compromise on what it is that we need to make the system operate the way I want it to operate. For us to operationally deliver what we need to deliver on those systems with those cameras, it's integral to what we do. We couldn't operate without it. It provides us with a mapping system so operators can very quickly go across the city and choose the cameras that they need to operate, as well as to cascade those cameras to the different monitors, such as to police dispatches and Humberside Police's control room, so they can see what's going on, and then they can act in a command and control facility for attending police officers, but also to cascade images to the monitor wall so everybody else can see what's going on, but also enables the operator to see what's going on in areas that they call hotspots, so we can keep an eye on those as well.
Having completely new interfaces clearly meant that Andrew and team had to give us quite a few days dedicated in-depth training, almost crash courses if you will. Of course, the requirement for us to continue our business as usual meant that it was kind of difficult to get the guys all around one table, but again, I've got to give credit to Meyertech there. They took that extra step to make sure that all our guys from top to bottom understood all the functionality of the system in a language that we all understood. As we expand our system, we're acutely aware of the relationships that we develop with our clients, and we know that they are going to insist on historical data, almost forensic intelligence, to let them know how they're getting value for money. So what we did, we spoke to Andrew at Meyertech and tried to ask his software engineers to develop a package that would completely trail a camera audit from start to finish of an incident, and the system now does that automatically. To us, a valuable tool, an incredibly valuable tool actually.
It's the collection of information. At the moment, the way the operators on a paper-based system, they collect the information that we require for our databases, then somebody else somewhere sat downstairs will then extract that information from each individual seat. So if you think 600 to 800 incidents a month, that's a lot of information to extract onto a separate database. So the Fusion Instant, when we get working on that one, will free up a little bit of time for somebody sat downstairs.